With the subject seated and resting, palpate the radial artery on the thumb side of the wrist on the subject's left arm. With your index finger and middle finger, count the pulses for 15 seconds and then multiply by 4 in order to obtain the number of beats per minute. With the individual seated, you apply the cuff an inch above the antecubital space and the stethoscope over the artery. You raise the cuff pressure to around 160 and slowly release the pressure until a carrot cough sound is heard through the stethoscope. Using the beam scale, the total body weight can be measured by having an individual stand on the scale barefoot. Slowly adjust the small weight up or down until the beam comes to the rest in a straight line horizontally. 2 tests are taken for accuracy. Using the beam scale, the standing height can be obtained by having the subject stand on the scale with heels together, barefooted, and erect against the meter. The square edge should be placed gently on the subject's head. 2 measurements are taken for accuracy. Using the measurements taken for weight and height, one can estimate the individual's BMI by using the equation. Tape a measuring tape to the floor. Place one piece of tape at the 15-inch mark. Have the athlete warm up with non-ballistic exercises. Have the athlete sit shoeless with the tape measure between the legs, with the zero end toward the body. The athlete's feet must be 12 inches apart with toes pointed upward and heels nearly touching the edge of the tape line at the 15-inch mark. With the athlete's hand adjacent to each other, have the athlete slowly reach forward with both hands as far as possible, holding the position momentarily. For the agility t-test, arrange the 4 cones as shown. The first 2 cones above must be 5 yards apart and 10 yards back. Have the athlete sprint forward. They must touch the first cone with the right hand. They must then touch the second cone with the left hand. They must then touch the rightmost cone with the right hand, back to the middle with the left hand, and run backwards. To measure the standing long jump, the athlete must stand with the toes just behind the starting line. The athlete will perform a counter movement and jump forward as far as possible. They must land on their feet for the jump to be scored. A marker is placed at the back edge of the athlete's rearmost heel, and the best of the 3 trials is recorded. To test speed, the athlete will do a straight line sprint test. The athlete will assume at a starting position using a 3 or 4 point stance. With an auditory signal, the athlete sprints the specified distance at maximal speed. The best split times of 2 trials are recorded to the nearest 0.1 second. To test local muscular endurance, the athlete will do a push-up test. They must do as many repetitions as possible within a timed 2-minute period. The athlete may only pause in the up position and go down only a fist distance from the ground. To test aerobic capacity, cardiovascular endurance, the athlete will do a 12-minute run. On an auditory signal, the individual must travel by foot as far as possible in 12 minutes. The individual can do this test by running, walking, jogging, but preferably running. At 12 minutes, have the athlete stop in place. The distance is then recorded.